They say small towns remember everything. They remember your first kiss, your worst mistake, the year your mom cried in church, and especially the time your marriage fell apart like a slow-motion car crash everyone could see coming. But they also remember how you rise from it. If you do. Everyone thought I had the perfect life. Married to my high school sweetheart, living in a charming house 2 blocks from Main Street, volunteering at church events, smiling in grocery store aisles. But behind every closed door is a truth few are brave enough to say out loud. I always thought I'd live and die in this small town. Maybe that's why I married Matthew. We'd known each other since we were 10. I still remember the way his hair stuck out under his baseball cap and how he'd pretend not to see me at school, only to throw a snowball at me 5 seconds later. That boyish charm, well, it worked. It worked so well that when he asked me to marry him at 23, I said yes without hesitation. The first few years were sweet. We bought a little house near the park where we had our first kiss. He'd hold my hand when we walked past it, whispering, "Right there." That was the moment I knew. But after the 3rd year the questions started. Then the appointments. Then the silence. His mother was the first to say something cruel. We were at Thanksgiving dinner. Her silverware always matched the tablecloth, and she looked right at me and asked, "Have you considered that it might be your fault?" Matthew squeezed my hand under the table then. But the squeeze got looser each year. "It's not fair," I whispered to him one night after another negative pregnancy test. I remember sitting on the cold bathroom floor, the test stick still lying there like some kind of taunt. He didn't answer. He used to say it didn't matter. That we were enough. He sat on the edge of the bed back to me. Things change. That night, I stared at the ceiling fans spinning above us and realized my marriage was dying in silence. There were nights I cried myself to sleep, muffling the sound with a pillow so he wouldn't hear. Or worse, so he would and still wouldn't care. I started walking around the park alone, pretending I liked solitude when I was really just hoping for a place to breathe without judgment. I felt like a ghost in my own home. Our house was filled with whispers, none of them mine. His family treated me like I had failed some test only they could grade. Once I overheard his mother on the phone say, "It's such a shame, all those good genes gone to waste." The worst part wasn't the absence of children. It was the slow withdrawal of love. The way he stopped kissing me goodbye. The way he stopped looking at me when I spoke. The way his eyes would glaze over like I had become background noise in a life we built together. Once I found a pamphlet in his glove compartment. It was for a support group. Not for couples dealing with infertility, just for men. It stung more than I could say. Not because he was seeking help, but because he never once asked me to go with him. I felt like a defective machine in a showroom. Smiled at but never bought. When I told him I wanted a divorce, he blinked. "So that's it? You're giving up?" "No, Matt. I'm choosing myself for once." His family blamed me. Loudly this time. His sister called me selfish. His mother dropped off a box of baby clothes she had saved, saying, "For someone who can actually use them." I didn't cry. Not that time. But I did cry when I packed the house. When I wrapped up the wedding picture we never hung. When I looked at the empty nursery we painted pale yellow just in case. The first night alone in my apartment, I lay awake in the silence. Not because I missed him, but because the silence was finally mine. My first Saturday lunch alone felt strange. I wore my red wrap dress and curled my hair like I used to when I still believed someone would notice. The restaurant had just opened. Italian, with wine bottles lining the walls and music so soft you could almost miss it. I ordered the seafood risotto, a glass of Pinot Grigio, and stared out the window. The waiter smiled when he brought my bill. "The owner says lunch is on him. He appreciates regulars." I blinked. "I'm not a regular. You've been here 3 weeks in a row. Always dressed like you're meeting someone." He says he likes that. His name was Peter. I didn't know that until the 5th Saturday. He approached my table with a smile that could disarm a guard dog. "I hope you don't mind. I just wanted to thank you in person. You bring style to this place." I laughed. "Style? I'm eating alone." "Exactly. You dine like you're in Paris." "I like that." We talked for 30 minutes that day. Then an hour the next. By week 8, we were meeting for lunch before the restaurant opened. By month 3, he admitted he owned not just this one but 2 more restaurants in neighboring towns. "Why didn't you tell me?" He shrugged. "I wanted to see if you liked me before you knew." Peter made me laugh again. He'd leave little notes in my handbag. "For the most elegant woman in town." Or, "Your smile makes my risotto better." We got married on a beach in Florida, barefoot and grinning. No big announcements. Just us and the ocean. Within 5 years we had 3 children. A girl, then twin boys. He never once looked at me like I was broken. Never asked, why now? He said, maybe you just needed the right kind of love. The grocery store is small. Everyone still goes to the same one. I was holding my daughter's hand when I saw Matthew's mother near the produce. She froze. Is she yours? She asked, eyes wide. Yes. And there's 2 more at home. Her mouth opened. Then closed. She reached out, touched my daughter's curls and said nothing. The fall fair came and we took the kids. Peter held the twins while I chased after our daughter. That's when I saw him. Matthew. Standing alone by the caramel apple stand. Watching us. He didn't wave. Just watched. Like he couldn't believe it. Later I heard from someone at the post office that he asked about me. Said, she looks happy. Really happy. The town of course whispers first, then louder. After everything they put her through, they'd say, shaking their heads. And it was him all along. His sister saw me again at the pharmacy. This time she looked me in the eye. I'm sorry, she said. We were wrong. About everything. Peter and I danced in our kitchen last night. The kids were asleep. Sinatra played on the old speaker and he twirled me like we were 20. You know, he whispered, I still think you're the most elegant woman in town. I smiled and kissed him in return.